called a myth. So let's talk about what a myth might be. You see right away, you see something about the way they're dressed. You see something about their art behind them. This is pretty traditional when we talk about mythology or the genre of a myth. So a myth is something that occurs in ancient times, in ancient places, so a long, long time ago. It usually teaches a lesson to us or tries to solve a problem or explain why something is the way it is. A lot of times we see gods or goddesses, that idea of a god or a goddess. We also see other characters that have abilities outside of human abilities, like a god or a goddess ability, something magical or mythical, like the word myth. Okay. I also noticed when I look just preview this story today, it's called Athena and Arachne. And if I look over here, I see characters in this box and I see scene 1 here. And then I notice those characters' names: narrator, Diana, Arachne, Diana. So I can tell right away that this style of writing is going to be a play or a drama or something that could be acted out. So I see scenes, I see characters. That gives me some clues. So again, we're sticking with the question of how do you decide what's important? And I also see some new vocabulary words that we can talk about. I see the word possess. I see the word wealth, treasure, necessary, and alarmed. So as we're working through this page, let's pay attention to that vocabulary as well. Here we go.
Characters. Narrator. Arachne. Arachne. A weaver. Diana, Arachne's friend. Athena, a Greek goddess. Messenger. Scene 1. Athens, Greece, a long time ago. Arachne's home. Narrator. Long ago, Arachne and her friend Diana sat weaving. Diana. Oh, Arachne, that cloth is so beautiful. Arachne admires her cloth. Arachne. I know. Many people want to possess my cloth, but few can afford it. Only those with great wealth can buy it. Diana. Yes, it's true that people value your cloth. It is one of their most valued possessions. Your weavings are a real treasure. Some say that you learned your weaving skill or talent from the goddess Athena. Arachne. It was not necessary for me to learn from a goddess. I was born with my talent. I am a much better weaver than Athena, and I'm sure I could beat her in a weaving competition. Diana is worried, stops weaving, and looks at Arachne. Diana. Shh, I hope Athena isn't listening, or you're in big trouble. Arachne. Nonsense. There's no reason to be alarmed or worried. Athena is much too busy to come down from Mount Olympus to compete with me.
Okay, so I noticed a couple of things when we read through here. First of all, when they gave us the characters, they told us we have two perhaps regular people, Arachne and Diana, because it just says that they're friends. And then we know Athena is a goddess, so she's going to be somebody bigger and more powerful. So as we look through these, we hear what each character is saying. I see some spots where we don't have a character's name, like here, Athens, Greece, a long time ago, Arachne's home. This one here, Arachne admires her cloth. And one more, Diana is worried, stops weaving, and looks at Arachne. So when we have a play like this, we have characters telling us what they're saying. This person says this person says this. But then these in between here, nobody is saying that, but it's important. If it was a production, we call those stage directions. So it's giving us what action or what's happening in the scene so we can picture what this would be like if it was acted out in front of us. So it's giving us information. We know we're at Arachne's home. She's admiring her cloth. And then we find out that Diana is worried. So let's look at that. Diana is worried. She stops weaving and looks at Arachne. Why do you think she's worried? Well, let's see. I hope Athena isn't listening or you're in big trouble. Why? Why would she be in big trouble if Athena is listening? What do we know about Athena? She's a goddess, right? So maybe she's powerful. Maybe she wants to be the best. And here's Arachne saying, I can beat her in a weaving competition. I can be better than her. So maybe that's something that might upset the gods. Okay, let's go back and look at the vocabulary for a minute. Many people want to possess my cloth, but few can afford it. So I know if I can afford something, that means I can buy it or I'm able to purchase it. So they want to possess it, but they can't buy it. So to possess means to own something, to have it in your possession. Only those with great wealth can buy it. Well, we know they can't afford it, so that means it's expensive. So you have to be wealthy to buy it. So wealth must mean having money. Okay, down here, treasure. Your weavings are a real treasure. So we know they're nice. We know people want them. We know they're expensive. So that makes it a treasure, something special, something valued, maybe even expensive. Not always, but maybe expensive. Then I see necessary. It was not necessary for me to learn from the goddess. I was born with my talent. So something that's necessary is something that was needed. She was saying, I didn't need to learn it. I already had it, that talent. And then alarmed. There's no reason to be alarmed or worried. They gave us a clue right there. To be alarmed could mean being worried, scared that something might happen, on the lookout for it. And these questions you will come back to when we're finished and answer those in Seesaw. So we'll skip over those for now. We're kind of discussing a lot of them as we go, so you should be prepared to answer them on your own later. Scene 2.
Scene 2. Mount Olympus, home of Athena. A messenger arrives. Compete with a goddess. Scene 2. Mount Olympus, home of Athena. A messenger arrives. Messenger. Goddess Athena, I have news from Athens. The weaver. Scene 2. Mount Olympus, home of Athena. A messenger arrives. Messenger. Goddess Athena, I have news from Athens. The weaver Arachne says she can beat you in a weaving competition. She's obsessed with her skill and thinks she is the best weaver in Greece. Athena. I'll show her who weaves the finest cloth. Her obsession with weaving must end. Please get me my cloak. Messenger hands Athena her cloak. Athena. Arachne cannot talk about me that way. If she refuses to apologize, I will make her pay for her boastful words. Her anguish will be great. Scene 3. Arachne's home. There is a knock at the door. Arachne. Who's there? Athena. Just an old woman with a question. Athena is hiding under her cloak. She enters the room. Athena. Is it true that you challenged the goddess Athena to a weaving competition? Arachne. Yes, that's right. Athena drops her cloak. Athena. Well, I am Athena, and I am here to compete with you. Diana. Arachne, please don't. It is unwise to compete with a goddess. Arachne and Athena sit down at the empty looms and begin to weave furiously.
Okay, so she thinks that Athena won't find out about her feeling that she is better at weaving. And so here she's got a messenger that tells Athena exactly what's happening. And just like we guessed, Athena was not going to be happy with someone thinking they will be better. She said, I will make her pay for her boastful words. Her anguish will be great. So if she's being boastful and she's saying she's better, Athena here is saying that she's going to come down and fix it. So her anguish or her pain or her punishment, she's going to be sad, will be great. Obsessed up here. She is obsessed with her skill and thinks she is the best weaver ever. Well, if we think about what happened in scene one, all we were hearing about was how good Arachne was at weaving. So she's obsessed with it. That's all she thinks about. That's all she cares about. It's just that one thing, her skill. Okay, if we look at the word apology, apology up here, if we look at the root of the word apology, we can listen for, apologize. We can hear the word apology in the word apologize. So if she refuses to apologize, we can hear that she's looking for an apology. Okay, let's keep reading.
Arachne, I am ready to win and get my reward. Athena, there's no prize if you lose. Narrator, Arachne and Athena both wove beautiful cloths. However, Arachne's cloth was filled with pictures of the gods being unkind. Athena, Arachne, your weaving is beautiful, but I am insulted and upset by the pictures you chose to weave. You are boastful, and your cloth is mean and unkind. For that I will punish you. Athena points dramatically at Arachne. Arachne falls behind her loom and crawls out as a spider. Athena, Arachne, you will spend the rest of your life weaving and living in your own web. Narrator, Arachne was mean and boastful, so Athena turned her into a spider. That's why spiders are now called arachnids. Arachne learned that bragging and too much pride can lead to trouble. The end.
All right, so we see another vocabulary word up there. We see the word reward. I am ready to win and get my rewards. That would be like a prize for winning here. So we see now Arachne went up against the goddess because she was feeling so prideful, and then it tells us she learned her lesson as she's being forced to weave as a spider now as a result of her pride. So we said that the genre myth, that it occurs in ancient times and ancient places, so that would be true of this story. It often teaches a lesson or explains something. So this has both, actually. So the lesson here is not to be mean and boastful, right? But it also explains how spiders came to be. It explains why they're called arachnids after the name Arachne. So you see a root word there. And it uses gods and goddesses. We see Athena, the goddess Athena, but it also used a human, Athena, before she was turned into Arachne, before she was turned into a spider. Okay, so your job is you are going to find these pages on Seesaw, and you are going to go ahead and complete these questions here. And most of these questions we've already talked about. So if you've been following along with this video, you will be super prepared to answer it on your own.